What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I wanted to talk to you about the Amex Gold Card. Now, I talked about this card multiple times on my channel, whether it was positive or negative. Also, it was one of the first credit card reviews on my channel. I think it might have been the first credit card review on my channel. But I wanted to talk about this card because there's a benefit that I kind of got confused a little bit. And I mean, for good reason. Some other people don't know this as well. So hopefully you learned something today. But before I get started in this, make sure you hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one. And make sure you get your 2 free stocks with Webull down below. And don't forget to check out some of the links down below when it comes to credit cards and my store. So what I really wanted to talk about with the Amex Gold Card, what I wanted to talk about specifically is the Amex Gold Card having a spending limit. This is where they've always said that it's unlimited spending, but then they come back and say something completely different here. So I always thought that they did have the unlimited spending and it was based on your income. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. So let me go through the whole story of how I figured this out. Now, recently I tried to make purchases. One purchase with my Amex card that was kind of out of a city that I live in. So it was in a different city. So it ended up getting declined 2 times. I was like, okay, this is a little bit weird, but I guess it's in a different city. Amex is really just trying to protect, my money and obviously their money as well, just so that we don't have any issues here and say, okay, do you approve this? And I've had that done in the past, right? So it makes sense. Then I ended up buying something or trying to buy something at the grocery store. I had a large purchase and I don't really like getting my credit cards declined, but I don't really care about what people think. So it doesn't really matter to me. But it is kind of weird to do that. I know Erica has a problem with that, but I used my gold card in the grocery store and it ended up getting declined again. And I was like, all right, well, this is a little bit weird. That doesn't make sense. I'm in my normal grocery store. I shouldn't get declined. So I thought that I was going to do something about it. I was going to go home and call, ended up getting distracted. But then my wife calls me and she goes, our Amex Gold Card got declined for me twice. She was like, I thought it was weird the first time, so I tried again. It got declined. And it said contact issuer. So that's where I was like, okay, this is weird. I checked out my bill. My bill was okay. I was ready for my statement to be paid in, I think it was like 4 days or so. So I was like, all right, I have that on automatic payment now. So I was like, okay, let's see what's going on here. So I called Amex. I decided to call them. Their customer service is always great. It always answers. They always end up having great answers here. So I asked him, hey, what's going on with my credit card? Why is it getting declined here? And he said, oh, well, I don't know. You seem to be in good standing. Let's go ahead and check out your credit card. And he said, well, you reached your spending limit. And I said, what? He said, yeah, you reached your spending limit. And I said, this has unlimited spending. He was like, yeah, I realize that. It does have unlimited spending, but you did reach your spending limit. And I said, how does that make sense? So he went on to explain to me exactly what this was by saying, we didn't have a spending limit. There's no spending limit on the card, but we do set a limit based on your payment history. And I said, well, then you set a spending limit. Why is that not communicated in more of the detail when it comes to applying for the credit card? Hey, you have a spending limit based on this information. Well, he said it could be unlimited because it's based on the amount of payments that you make, how much you make in your payments. And I was like, can you explain a little bit more? He said, yeah, basically, when you go throughout the life of your credit card, now when you first get it, they really have no history to go off of besides income. So then they really say what your spending limit will be. And then as you go through different months, you spend, let's say, $2,500, right? The max that you could spend in a billing cycle is $5,000. The reason why is because you're going to have $2,500 as a statement balance that you can pay off. And then you're going to have $2,500 that you can pay in the next statement balance in that time frame. But if you get to the point to where you max out both of those statement balances, the max payments, then you don't have any spending limit left. You don't have any spending power left. Does that make sense? It didn't make sense to me at first. I understood where he was coming from, but what I didn't understand was that why you don't say this in the beginning, why you don't put this on your information, on your details, saying it does have a spending limit, but it's based on such and such, right? That's what it should be. So he goes on to tell me how, it's an unlimited spending. You can spend as much as you want. And I'm like, obviously I can't. If I wanted to make a larger purchase in 1 month, then all of a sudden this card gets declined because I've never made a payment that big. Now, I don't like to put all of my money on one card, so why does that make sense? And he's like, well, that's just how the card is set up. So I learned something new, that it was based on your spending power, the amount of payments that you had. So if I go into the next month and I wanted to make a bunch of purchases, a bunch of large purchases, let's say for Christmas, I can't do that because of the fact that I'm going to reach my spending limit, because my normal spending that I put on the card is going to be okay, but then anything over that will not be okay. So I just wanted to talk about the fact that this does not have an unlimited spending, and it's all dependent. It's not anything to where you can say, all right, can you raise this limit? No, you have to physically make that payment in order to continue to spend. I said, well, can you change this? Because I'm trying to make a large purchase here, or a bunch of large purchases here. And he said, well, no, there's no change in that. You can't really change that. You just have to continue to make more payments. If you feel like you're getting to that max point, they'll start to increase that depending on your payments. So I know recently I'm going to be making a $3,000 some odd payment, which will increase the amount of spending that I have. But let's say that I didn't spend as much money on this card. I don't need to spend this much money on the card, right? And I only spent $1,000. Does that mean my credit limit or my credit line will only be $2,000 there? It's not going to be unlimited. I don't know. So it's crazy to say that I figured this out, but I didn't know about this. Let me know if you knew about how Amex structures their spending limit. But yeah, it's absolutely mind-blowing to me. And when I heard this, I was like, he said, we set a limit, but the card is unlimited. I understand what he means, but it's not an unlimited card if you set a limit, in my opinion. Let me know if you feel the same way. But that's my video, guys. I'm going to get out of here, and make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, get your free stocks and hit any of the other links down below in the description. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.